I am really, truly, and deeply honored to receive this award. I have deep respect for the Latino Leaders Network. I've known Mickey Ibarra for over a quarter of a century now, and I must admit I'm especially honored and moved to receive a recognition named after Mayor Villaraigosa. You mean a great deal to all of us. Thank you. So, muchas gracias, and thank you very much for this wonderful honor. Let me say a few words about why it means so much to me to be among mayors and receive an award that honors mayors. I was recently asked to write a think piece, if you will, about local government for a new textbook on Texas politics. Yeah, and I'm just goofy, man. And I'm just goofy enough to think that's kind of fun, right? So, and as I was putting my thoughts together, I kept coming back to a great quote about the founding father, John Adams. Adams received a compliment from a British spy. And the British spy said about Adams, he sees large issues largely. If he had aspired to such heights, John Adams would have made a good mayor. Cities face so many large issues today, seemingly all at the same time, under a white-hot spotlight, so much so that it's easy to lose perspective if you're not seeing largely. Right or wrong, people view the mayor's office as the one reliable institution that recognizes their real everyday challenges for what they are and can deliver solutions scaled to address them. From the mayor's office, they expect results. Mayors really need to see large issues largely. Many of you know, and as you just heard, this is my second time around as Austin mayor. As was pointed out, I served as mayor from 1997 to 2001. By the way, that's when I first met Mickey. I got to tell you, he was so good to me when he was in the White House, and he was so good at helping local government. He understood the challenges, and he was always, no matter what the phone call and no matter how weird he might have thought it was, he was always ready to jump in and help. After I served quite a long time in the Texas Senate and then a very short time in academia, I wanted to come back to Austin City Hall because I felt so strongly about the role the mayor's office plays in how we live day to day and what the future of that living is going to look like. Getting good things done at the local level, as has been suggested time and time again tonight, is more important than ever. The difficult truth is that we live in a time when extreme divisions seem to have transformed too many American institutions into forums for delivering insults rather than delivering results. When many in Congress and in our state legislatures are so transparently intent on building power just to impose their political point of view. Instead, they could be, but instead, they don't use it to actually get anything done. It's no surprise that voters want their local government, and especially their city government, to really solve problems, to truly make life in our communities better. Last weekend was a stunning example. Many of you were on the front lines of how government is meant to work. I was so proud of how so many cities allowed for, indeed helped, enhanced, and embraced peaceful protests. Washington can create chaos. State leadership can engage in confrontational rhetoric and threats, but it falls on mayors and our cities to protect our people, protect their rights, so that they can assemble, so they can speak their minds. It falls on us to assure traffic is controlled. It's the local government that needs to be, sometimes in unfortunate instances, there to protect property. And when it's all over, we clean up the remnants and put our cities, the places our people call home, back in order. Last week, we saw an example of how local leadership can lift up the better parts of our democracy in the midst of some of the worst demeaning of our democracy. Local government is where we see large issues largely, and we act. And as I used the example of last week, let's not lose sight. Let's not lose sight that all of that is in the context that we live in a nation that must still acknowledge a heartbreaking, stained history of racism and how we treat Latinos and people of color. Unfortunately, it's foundational to the creation of our country, and perhaps more unfortunately, some want to revisit it, reinforce it, and further it today. Now, while everyone knows I'm talking about the current attacks on Latinos as part of the immigration efforts, and it's been mentioned already tonight, mayors also still see other evils of inequality today. We see it in the news. We see it in healthcare, in homelessness, in education, and in economic reports. And mayors, we see it with our own eyes. Again, we need to see large issues largely and lead. Because just as a person's values can change for the better, so can a nation's. Thank God. But it does require accountable leadership. If we're going to overcome so many of our current challenges, including those rooted in racism and inequality, I believe it will be because of our cities and our mayors being out front. At the local level, we fix the common problems all of us see every day. We hear directly from our neighbors about their aspirations, as well as their expectations of us. We respond when they most need help. As mayors, we ask ourselves every day, are the things we're doing going to make a real difference for real people in the real world? And are we doing them well and getting the outcomes the people expect and deserve? Local government respects and demands what I like to call practical idealism, an approach of addressing challenges that's value-based and it connects us with our neighbors. It's an approach that manifests the optimism we share. And practical idealism pours our creative energy into the things that need to get done. It's where the policy meets the pavement. It's where the basics of everyday living and the fundamentals of how so many people living near each other actually gets done. It's also about how those things get done, what gets done, and for whom. Every day, all day. In case you can't tell it, I love being mayor. And I appreciate all of you who are mayors and all of you who are supporting and helping mayors. Thank you for that. Again, I want to say thank you to the Latino Leaders Network for recognizing me, but more importantly, Mickey, for your support of mayors, for lifting up practical idealism, and for helping all of us think largely. God bless you, and thank you very much.
Thank you. Wow. Thank you, Mayor Watson. Now, let me just mention a couple of things. One, for those that really enjoyed those remarks, hope you did as much as I did. Would like you to know that 1 week from today, or thereabouts, you'll be receiving an email with the link to YouTube of this whole program, including the remarks of Mayor Watson, of course. In addition to that, in several weeks, we will post not only the video, but a transcript of those remarks. This is being recorded professionally. That recording goes to a transcript service who then puts it in speech format. Both the video and the transcript will be posted at LatinoLeadersNetwork.org. All you got to go to the top, hit past honorees, and boom, they drop out, and Mayor Watson will be there under the tribute to mayors. So I'd invite you to join it again. Just two other things I wanted to mention. One is our calendar of events. We continue at the Latino Leaders Network building a national footprint. We've already completed events this year in Washington, in Phoenix, and now in Tampa. Remaining on our 2025 calendar is Washington, D.C. once again. Also Austin. We're going to be joining Mayor Watson in Austin to convene the 75th event of the Latino Leaders Luncheon Series, hosted coast to coast, and our 75th will be our first time in Austin with Mayor Watson. I want to also thank our event team. All of you are involved in events in one way or another, and you know it doesn't happen accidentally. It happens because of good planning by a good team and with even better execution. So please thank Gina Donner, our event director, as well as our team that has helped us. And by special proclamation of Ruben Alvarez, our CEO of the Latino Leaders Network, we're going to keep the bar open until 7:15. This concludes the 42nd program.